Alright, this is week 7 Pechacucha lecture. I'm going to introduce you to the 7-minute lecture. And of course, I'm Dr. John Girdwood. I'll start off with telling you what Pechacucha is and who does this. I learned about Pechacucha from the University of Michigan School of Dentistry. And it's a 20-slide, 20-second format for a 7-minute total presentation. You can set up your PowerPoint slides in this way. You click on transitions at the top. You can click the box next to after, and then you type 20 into the time box. This is a week 7 lecture about Pechacucha. It's a 7-minute lecture format. I'm John Girdwood, and I learned about Pechacucha at the University of Michigan School of Dentistry's State of the School address. It's a 20-slide, 20 seconds each format for a 7-minute total presentation. And this is to address the students sleeping in my class on my 1 to 2 hour lectures. The way that you can set your PowerPoint up for Pechacucha transitions is to click on the tab at the top and set your slides to 20 seconds each. I've tested this actually on Mac, but I'm not sure if it works on older versions of PowerPoint. I use the current version of PowerPoint for this particular presentation. Pechacucha has been used at the University of Southern California, as I said, the University of Michigan School of Dentistry, and Columbia University. I'm doing this as a rapid experiment to see if it works in my classrooms, currently at Wayne State University teaching Sociology of Families. Time affects delivery. I have seen this in a medical clinic. When we put a new procedure at the beginning of the visit, it was more well received than when we put it at the end of the visit. And also when we put a procedure in a medical clinic before the immunization shots versus after the immunization shots, we had a lot of crying children on our hands when we put it after the shots. So timing is imperative. I also taught Saginaw Valley State University classes from 7 to 9:50 p.m. in the evenings, and I had a much more receptive audience when I taught classes at Elma College from 10 a.m. to about noon. So it's important to understand the context of the classroom when delivering the material. Some of the tips that I pulled off the USC website for an effective Pechacucha, one of the tips is to use effective imagery. The connection to sociology here is that symbolic interactionism, as we've learned, symbols have meaning. So using effective symbols really helps a good presentation. Some of the more tips are to hack the format. Of course, you can use the images twice, as you'll see in this presentation. You can practice, which is very important. This is my second recording of this particular presentation. And don't worry if you miss a slide. You can apply Pechacucha in our classroom to the journals, the reflection papers, or the final project. You completed 2 journals so far, so you still have 5 points to go. You've completed one of the reflection papers, and you, of course, have not completed your final project. Any one of these assignments is one that you could do Pechacucha on. So you could get 5 more points through your journal, 20 more points through a reflection, or 40 points through your final project, totaling 75 points using Pechacucha. I use a gap analysis to get to this point. You see we have current state and we have future state, and we want to get to all 75 remaining points in the classroom. Today we're using Pechacucha for a lecture, and we're also going to do an activity, which you'll see in a minute. Again, I'd like to give you new knowledge through these slides, and I'm also going to encourage you to apply your new knowledge to the practical activity which will occur today when you create your own Pechacucha. So how are we going to use it today? Well, today's reading works great. There are 18 sections. You could produce 20 slides very quickly using today's reading, which is theorizing social inequalities. And there might be some callbacks to prior reading as well. Today in class we have 8 students. So we'll have 8 presentations. Each presentation will be 7 minutes each with 20 slides in there, totaling 56 total minutes. We have the slides ready. I have them on cadence, but I need the material, and that's where you come in. You're going to create your own Pechakucha, 20 slides. I have a list here of 8 students. Each student will be assigned a section of reading ranging from 8 to 20 pages, and you will produce your own 20 slide presentation today. I'll give you about an hour to prepare, and then, like I said, 8 students, 7 minutes each, will be 56 minutes total in the presentation. Okay, I encourage you to identify 18 key points from your reading that I assigned to you today. You should write those down as headers and form an outline. And I don't want you to worry, because this is obviously the first time you've ever had to do this. There's no pressure in this class. Your quality probably won't be good today when I give you an hour to create a 7-minute presentation. Don't worry. Learning comes from activity, and your education is a process. There are many limitations to today's activity. All studies have limitations. Today we won't have time to use images, and you won't have time to practice. I didn't have much time to practice this particular 7-minute Pechakucha, so I've made mistakes already, but like you, I don't worry about that. We all make mistakes when the pressure's on. Well, you can develop this presentation during the activity today into your next journal or your next reflection paper or even your final project. Then you'd have time to insert images. You'd have time to practice. You could also use this material for more writing or presentations in the future. Exactly what you need to do today is identify 18 key points about the reading that I assigned to you for the next hour. Get to know your reading, write down those key points, form an outline, expand each of those points into a 20-second slide, which, as you can see, is not much, and you will present up front. Here are the sections of prior reading and future reading. I'm going to assign one of you to each of these sections, and we are going to learn about all of these things today very concisely, efficiently, in our Pechakucha format today. So our last slide here says, I'm very excited to end the lecture with the word go and instruct you to create your own Pechakucha presentation for a segment of reading, which hopefully you can apply the knowledge and convert that knowledge to your peers and share with them. Thanks. This has been John Girdwood's Pechakucha today, mid-October, for Sociology of Families, SOC 5400 at Wayne State University.